The more you try to silence your mind, the more you activate the wrong system. The more you try to silence your mind, the more you think. Because the problem is not your thoughts, it's where your attention goes. When your brain shifts from the inner world to the outer world, it enters a different mode. This is called the task positive system. And when your brain is in the default mode network, it's almost like being on autopilot. Your mind turns inward. You think about yourself, analyze the past, imagine the future, and most importantly, you talk to yourself. If there is no inner peace, your thoughts become uncontrolled. You find yourself criticizing yourself. All your mistakes and negative emotions start circulating in your mind. If you can't control your thoughts, you can learn to control your idle time. If you use the default mode network correctly, your mind doesn't criticize. It creates. It becomes active when your brain waves relax and your mind starts to wander freely. But if you don't use it consciously, your mind doesn't follow a natural flow. It creates its own flow. And if your inner dialogue is negative, it will continue through negative thoughts. So, what can you do when you start criticizing yourself? When you feel bad or when an emotion becomes too overwhelming to sit with? There are multiple ways: meditation, breathing exercises, or doing things that require your full attention. Simple activities like knitting, cooking, making mandalas, walking, or taking a shower, these behaviors take you out of the default mode network and give your brain a task to focus on. During this, you start to calm down because your mind shifts from self-criticism to action. Repetitive and rhythmic movements also regulate the nervous system. That's why these activities feel meditative. Research shows that when your attention returns to the present moment, default mode network activity decreases. So you cannot force your mind to be silent, but you can change its direction. Even a small action can change the tone of your mind. But there is something important. These methods calm your mind, but they do not change your inner voice. If you only use them as an escape, that voice will always come back. Because this system is built from years of learned self-talk. So there are 2 steps. First, regulating the mind, calming the body and attention. Second, noticing and transforming that inner voice. For the second step, you can write down your negative thoughts and then write a more balanced version. You can challenge them by writing why they are not fully true. If you like this video or leave a comment, I can share examples of how to transform negative thoughts. Why am I focusing on this? Because getting out of the default mode network is only a temporary relief. My goal is to help people feel peaceful and safe even when their mind is idle. Because research shows that the way you talk to yourself directly affects your brain. For example, emotional labeling studies show that when you name what you feel, the activity of the fear center decreases. This means your mind is not against you, but if you don't learn how to use it, it will control you. You don't become free when your mind is quiet. You become free when the way you speak to yourself changes. If you don't recognize your emotions, if you don't name them, if you don't learn how to reshape negative thoughts, even small things can feel like constant triggers. We don't want your thoughts about yourself to block your potential. Your mind doesn't have to be a desert full of cacti. It can become a fertile land full of flowers. Science supports this. You can learn more in my neuroplasticity video. When your mind is idle, it doesn't know what to do, and it becomes vulnerable to self-criticism. Those moments, getting up and taking action, sends a message to your brain. I am not what you say. I show you who I am through my actions. Managing your mind takes time, but when you start seeing results, you begin to hold the key to your inner peace. Follow for science-based psychology content.